Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to share some information about the Unified Tax Reform Framework that was released last week by Republicans in the House of Representatives. I think it's important that with all of the sad news coming out this week in the country, particularly in Puerto Rico and Las Vegas, that we do share with the American people some information that will be so important to them long term and will help our economy get a good jump start. And incidentally, last quarter our economy grew at 3.1%, but very few people have heard about that, and it's important that we point that out. Mr. Speaker, the material provided by the Ways and Means Committee is extraordinarily valuable, and I also would encourage people to go on the Ways and Means website and on my website and on individual websites of members to gain more information about this framework. First, it lowers the rates for individuals and families. The framework shrinks the current 7 tax brackets into 3, 12%, 25%, and 35%. And actually, Mr. Speaker, many more Americans will pay no taxes as a result of the tax reform because we're going to double the standard deduction and enhance the child tax credit. The framework roughly doubles the standard deduction so that typical middle-class families will keep more of their paycheck. It also significantly increases tax credit. It eliminates loopholes for the wealthy and protects bedrock provisions for the middle class. It repeals the death tax and alternative minimum tax. You know, Mr. Speaker, dying should not be a taxable event. It's important that we not tax people, particularly farmers and small businesses, at the death of a business owner or farm owner. It creates a new lower tax rate and structure for small businesses. It will help to create jobs and promote competitiveness by lowering the corporate tax rate. So that Americans can compete on a level playing field, the framework reduces the corporate tax rate to 20%, below the 22.5% average of the industrialized world. It will boost the economy by allowing for expensing of capital investments. The framework allows for at least 5 years businesses to immediately write off or expense the cost of new investments, giving a much-needed lift to the economy. It moves to an American model for competitiveness. The framework ends the perverse incentives to offshore jobs and keep foreign profits overseas. It levels the playing field for American companies and workers by allowing the profits achieved overseas to come back by imposing a one-time low tax rate on wealth that has already accumulated overseas, so there's no tax incentive to keep the money offshore. Mr. Speaker, we need to get our economy booming again, to create jobs and to make our country much greater than it is today. And I endorse this framework put out by the Ways and Means Committee and look for the work that's going to be done by the committee as it refines the framework and brings forth a bill for us to vote on. And with that,